a service of CNC Worldwide.
The CNC Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell, and your full AccuWeather forecast is always on the top here on your CNC local page. Here's something you probably want to avoid Friday and Saturday if you're driving on the west side. Construction on Route 390 north of Ridge Road means one-lane traffic, slowdowns, and occasional stops. Mount Read Boulevard is a good workaround for you instead. And we're not done with this yet. Part of 390 southbound in Greece will close for repairs the entire weekend. 390 South will close completely between the Lake Ontario State Parkway and Ladder Road Friday night at 8. It's scheduled to reopen by 5 o'clock Monday morning. This is part of a $2.9 million preventative maintenance project. A federal appeals court has ruled that the town of Greece was in the wrong when it opened its monthly town board meetings with prayer. The Second Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals issued a unanimous ruling that starting a town board meeting with Christian invocations only favors one faith over others and so violates the Constitution. All three judges on the panel agreed with Judge Guido Calabresi's decision. Town Chief of Staff Jeff McCann, speaking in the absence of Supervisor John Auberger, said the town plans no immediate change in its procedures.
We're reviewing all of our legal options, which include asking for a full circuit court review of that decision and possibly petitioning the United States Supreme Court to hear the case.
So other than continuing to see out the legal process, you're not taking any other immediate action?
No, it's our intention to explore all of our legal options.
Now, is the town still using invocations to open the meetings?
We've had people of other faiths come and give prayers. Matter of fact, we have a gentleman who lives not too far from Town Hall who's Jewish, who's actually on our rotation, who's actually come and given a prayer. Anyone who is interested is welcome to get on our rotation and to participate.
The group that sponsored the lawsuit against the town, Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, was happy with the court's decision. The Reverend Barry Lynn, AU's executive director, said government meetings should welcome everyone. He called the verdict an important one for religious liberty. Two community residents, Susan Galloway and Linda Stevens, objected to the apparent preference for Christianity during the invocations. Americans United filed suit on their behalf in 2008. In his Galloway versus Greece opinion, Judge Calabresi wrote, "We conclude that an objective, reasonable person would believe that the town's prayer practice had the effect of affiliating the town with Christianity." New York State is ending the requirement that food stamp recipients be subject to electronic fingerprinting. Lieutenant Governor Robert Duffy, speaking for Governor Andrew Cuomo, said the policy will be dropped for all food stamp applicants and recipients. The state says 1 in 6 children live in homes without enough food on the table, yet 30% of New Yorkers who are eligible for food stamps, more than 1.4 million people, don't get them, leaving over $1 billion in federal funds unclaimed every year. Finger imaging was intended to deter fraud by food stamp recipients, but opponents say it became instead a deterrent to participating in the program because fingerprinting has negative connotations. Prior to this change, New York and Arizona were the only two states in the country to impose the finger imaging requirement. This is what it looks like when 350 bike riders come to college or school. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children New York chapter held a 100-mile bicycle ride around Monroe County Friday. The ride raises funds to support child safety and education programs and to remember all missing children. The bicyclists stop at schools along the way to meet with children and raise awareness about how to protect themselves from being victimized. This is the 12th annual Ride for the Kids. The day-long event visited half a dozen elementary schools, this time mostly around the west side towns and villages. This is the weekend customers of HSBC Banking in upstate New York find their accounts switched to First Niagara or whatever other bank they chose after First Niagara bought up HSBC's branches across the region. Friday is the last day for HSBC. The change takes place over the weekend. On Monday, May 21st, the HSBC customers whose branches have been transferred will find themselves First Niagara customers. Now's the time to activate your new bank cards. Former Gates Chili High School basketball coach Monty Noden was arrested for a second time Thursday after a traffic stop by Gates police. The prosecutor investigating an earlier rape charge against Coach Noden said the underage girl who claimed to have had a sexual relationship with the coach was in the car with Noden when he was pulled over. The alleged victim changed her story this week, giving Noden's lawyer a sworn statement in which she says she was lying when she told police about having sex with the coach. Assistant District Attorney Amanda Balling said the DA's office and Gates Police put surveillance on both the girl and Noden, which led to their being found together. That violated an order of protection issued on Noden when he was first arrested in February. Noden was charged with second-degree criminal contempt for being in the girl's presence. The prosecution plans to move forward with the rape case, despite the girl's recantation. On this page, you can find links to these and other stories. At the bottom, links for you to use to post your own news updates, sports, and salutes directly to us. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.